So when I left off the other day, I had this thing running. I had pulled this fan over in front of the radiator, and the fan was doing a pretty good job of cooling the motor. But let's see, now I had also changed the wires back here so that I could get the timing to set about right. There was some things I wanted to do. One, I want to cut about an inch out of this hose so I can get this crank out of that hose right there. Straighten that out, hopefully. I want to take the radiator off, move the fan out of the way, come in here, take a grinder, work on that. And I got to be careful because there's a can of gas out there at my feet. I can't grind it here. But I might can move that can of gas and loosen that bolt end this here, and I might could tilt this. It hinges here. I might could tilt this out and grind that and then tilt it back up where I don't have to take the whole thing off. I want to do those two things and then set it back on there and run it some more. Make sure that it's cooling properly. Eventually reset the valves. And I got a lot of things I want to do. And I'm sort of debating with being out here today because it's a pretty good day to be making videos. It's kind of coldish and wettish, and I'm not feeling inspired to be out here. And I need to do some basic major cleanup. I've kind of got a little bit of a mess going on here. However, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. So if I just said I'm not sure what I'm doing today, would that be acceptable? I'm not sure what I'm doing today, but I might not be doing that. Oh, in here, I have a package from, I think it might be from Speedway. There's a brake booster for the Rambler. Oh, another project. That's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. So I thought I was recording, but I guess I wasn't, but that's okay. Earlier I came out here and talked about how I was gonna take this off and cut a notch down here. But this part here was only on, there's a bolt that runs from here. It's threaded right here. And so this bolt was threaded into this, but there was nothing in between. So I put this thing had some long spacers, little tubes. And then I put a long spacer with a washer on each end, tightened it down on this thread. And that thing is solid now. I don't believe it's necessary to cut this like I was talking about. I was also going to cut this radiator hose and try to get this kink out of it, but it's on there pretty good. I mean, when I went to try to get it loose here, man, I couldn't even get it loose, and I thought, well, maybe because all I'm going to be doing is running this engine, and then when I take it off, I'll take it off for good. But maybe what I ought to do, and I'll probably take it off here, because I'm going to be putting it in the Rambler, which already has hoses on its radiator, and I can just leave this hose right here. But I took this wire loose. I had a wire attached up here, and if you stretch it out a little bit, that just about pulls the kink out of it. So I could just loosen up this wire and put the clamp right back on there, and then put my water right back in here, and I'd be free to run this thing. I don't remember if there was another thing I wanted to do before I ran this or not. Maybe it was clean the carburetor, but that's not much of a big deal. But I could. I was going to set that fan up here and get a little fan blowing through the radiator. I may just start that today. I mean, I could. As I drain the water out tonight. It got down about freezing last night. I don't know if it's cold enough to damage a block, but I don't like taking no chances with something like that. I think I'm gonna walk away from it because I don't want to start something that I'm not gonna have much time to spend on it today. So I'm gonna walk away from it, but I may come back to this tomorrow after church and fire this up. I wanna get. I was messing with the timing yesterday, and I'd run out of gas, and I want to get the timing set right. I got gas back in my can, and decide whether or not I want to adjust the valves and all that fun stuff. I'm getting very close to the part where I move away from this and just bring that Rambler up here and start messing with the power steering on it and the brake booster that I've got over here. I went down to Jeff's yesterday. He's got his power steering unit, his Prius electric power steering unit all pulled apart. He showed me how it came apart, so that kind of makes it easy. So anyway, there's that little bit. potato, to quote my friend Waylon Wire. Potato, 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 potato. Potato, 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 potato. Some of y'all might not know what that means. Just ask Waylon Wire. That's right. Potato, 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 potato. I might be done with it. Yeah, I think I might be done with it. Once I'm done with it, done with it, I'll be ready to push it back into the back of the room and start working on the Rambler steering and brakes. I got a little interesting development here today. The well pump went out. I don't own the well. It belongs to the subdivision. There's someone up there working on it right now. So, and it's a cold day and a wet day, and I'm not real excited about being out. So what I might do is walk away. At some point I'll take that carburetor apart, clean it, put it back on there. I want to adjust the carburetor choke. It's got an electric choke, and the bolts on the choke are stripped. What I'm talking about, well, the bolts are these 3 bolts right here. I believe they're Phillips head, although it might be a hex head. I guess I could look into that because I got some hex head wrenches. Let me check that out. If it is, I could loosen that, adjust that choke. It's hot and it shouldn't be running. It'll naturally run with the choke on if I let it. So let's see if I can find the right screwdriver bit for that.